manager with Previan Law Firm.
I like the fact that the company is local, and I can always get a hold of my representative, who I have on speed dial, or I have a cell phone.
Then there's James Imaging Systems client Preston Clark, who oversees IT services at Creative Business Interiors.
If I do need service, they're here almost within 4 hours every time. I've never had an issue where I'm like, where is that guy?
James Imaging Systems business technology client Lori Salzman, Vice President of Enterprise Services at Junior Achievement of Wisconsin.
I've never met an organization that is so responsive to make sure that we are up and running all the time for us to be more efficient and allow us to focus more on the work that we do for helping young people.
James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. To learn more, visit jamesimaging.com.
Tune in to KBN every day at 2 o'clock. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
It's time for the best 60 minutes of your life. This is the Homer Hour, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, alongside former Packer Bryan Bulaga. Here's Emmy Award winner Homer.
It's the Bryan Bulaga Homer Hour, and today, no, I'm not going to mention it, because otherwise if I do, then people will just stop listening. But the show's a little different today than a normal Thursday. Good afternoon, Brian.
Good afternoon. How are we doing?
We're doing fine. My belief, this is going to be a show where we have to be willing to do predictions about the Packers, recognizing that they could all be gone or all be wrong. It's February the 12th. How can anybody know for sure? But it just lets people or gives people an idea, and I use some of it, as to what they're thinking. All right, for example, my position has been, since LaFleur got the contract extension, that they basically said, we not only like you, we like you so much that last year you did less than expected, but we're not holding that against you. Whatever our reasons are, and we haven't said, the fact that you didn't go very far in the playoffs or way below maybe expectations after you get Micah Parsons, that's fine. We don't care. We still love you. So if I'm LaFleur, I don't change anything. Why would I? They just told me everything is, I think, somewhere from very good to great. So I'm going to assume that LaFleur thinks that, and so he's pretty much keeping everything the same unless he has to change, and the quarterback's coach would be the latest example. Even if I'm right, my theory could be wrong, so take it away, Brian.
Yeah, no, I mean, I listen, when you have a season that ends that way and the expectations do fall short, and we kind of saw how it went, right? Like Micah got hurt, as you mentioned, in Denver, and then things kind of just stumbled downhill from there, right? You lose to Baltimore, you lose to Chicago in that fashion the way they did. You went from feeling really good about holding that division, right? Like you were going to win the division. And then it just kind of sputters and the team kind of just, I don't know, like they just kind of ran out of gas or ran out of steam or energy or whatever it may be when Micah went down. And then they get into the playoff game. And we all know what happened, 21-3 or whatever the score was, and you blow the lead. But when you bring Matt back, which, again, I agree with the move of bringing Matt back. That, to me, I've said that on record. I'll say it again. I agree with the move. But the message is that we like the direction that everything is going.
There you go. I got yeah, the key, you just got to use that word. The direction.
Yes, that's what the message that's being sent. And obviously for Matt being the head coach, controlling the staff and who's in, who's out, obviously you can't control Halfley leaving. You know, he gets head coach, you're going to lose guys with that. But he's going to keep things very similar for the most part from a staff standpoint. Obviously Getsy, I mean, when I was playing, I played for Getsy. You know, Getsy was there when I was there. I think he's a good football coach. I think he's a great guy too. So him stepping into the quarterback role, that's a role that he's familiar with.
All right, so we got to stop that because you gave me two. I don't even know how much you interact with the quarterback's coach. So, and you just said you like him. He's a good person. So explain why you have those thoughts about him. And in terms of ranking on the food chain, how high is he up? Does he have more influence on you than the equipment manager?
Oh, Well, yeah, okay. So we do actually, because of obviously the relationship between the offensive line and the quarterback, we do have interactions with the QB's coach. When Aaron would come in for protection meetings and things like that, there'd be times where he'd come into our O-line room after practice, and we'd be watching the film from practice, and we'd be watching the pressure tape and from practice, and QB coach would come in, whether that was Getsy at the time or Clements or whoever it was. So we interact with those guys plenty, and we see them plenty. And
all right, how do you interact? I'll be LaFleur. I'll be you, Bryan Bulaga. Dude's a quarterback coach. Takes care of the quarterback. I'm curious what he says, but that doesn't have anything to do with me. He's worried about the quarterback. I got my offensive line coach and 4 assistants, or how many they have now. Well, what is the quarterback coach going to tell me that I'm going to listen to? And I'm not as nice as you. I don't even care. Go ahead.
It's more so like when you're watching certain things on tape and pressure pickups and things that could put tackles. So say for me, we're just talking about me, an example.
Yes.
If there's a look or a pressure look, or even in the run game or something that Aaron may have to check in and out of, and it's starting to kind of borderline what my rules are, right? Like, so say there's a pressure look.
All right.
And my rules tell me I have to dual read, a linebacker to the DN to the safety. He'll ask me, like, is that putting you in too much lingo? Should Aaron move to something else? Or Aaron would ask that, and the quarterback coach confirms it, and Campy's in there to confirm it as well. So there's that type of dialogue to just go over certain looks and things like that. And obviously, besides going over assignment-based things and game plan type things, there's the normal interaction that we have with them on the practice field, just in meetings in general.
All right, hold on. You don't understand your normal interaction. I don't know what your normal interaction is.
Yeah, busting chops, talking smack a little, just normal things.
I know you don't have to swear, but so what? What? You got to do better. Come on, Bulaga. I don't know what the busting chops interaction is. As I said.
Like we would give Getsy and even Tom Clements, who was a fit, he was there forever.
Yeah, he's an old man.
Yeah, he was there. No, we didn't do anything like that. But no. Didn't do anything like that. But just jokingly, hey, you're gonna speed up the cadence or the tempo of the quarterback getting rid of the ball. It means you guys going over time clock in the meetings. Just the small things like that and he'd fight back, just block your guy or just hold up and protect. Just small things like that of just kind of going back and forth. And
so you said he's a good guy. What? I mean, you don't have to say that. What?
Yeah, no, I think he's a great guy.
What makes him a great guy?
Well, I think he's obviously super down to earth. I think that's one thing.
We don't know any of that. We know nothing about him. Absolutely nothing.
Yeah, listen, I think he's very smart. I think he's down to earth. I think he's able to listen to players. Not obviously his quarterbacks. His quarterbacks respect the hell out of him. I know Aaron loved him. I'm sure Jordan loves him too. So there's a lot of respect there from players to coach, and I think he understands it. I mean, he's a younger guy too, which I think guys appreciate. They're able to gravitate a little bit more towards that.
So you wouldn't like me?
I would have no problem. I mean, listen, I've been on staffs with guys that are coaches that are older and younger and all.
Right,
all
but
in
it's
between.
different. You can't relate to him as a person. I get that.
Yeah,
I was young once. I thought old people were just old. You're past your time, buddy.
It's just a little. You just have a little more of a different dialogue with,
Right, but I want to emphasize to you all these things. You may just think I'm kind of butting in. We don't know any of this. We don't.
It's all part of the dynamic. It's all part of a dynamic of a coaching staff and a roster and things like that. It's kind of why you see. This is a young team. We've heard that how many times? It's still going to be a young team. As Guti has said in his presser, that he doesn't see adding veterans as the reason why they stumble.
If I was you, here's what I'd go like. Homer, look, Aaron Rodgers liked him. Aaron Rodgers can be the most difficult person in the world to deal with at times. If Aaron Rodgers likes him, it's over. I like him because he's got to be smart or whatever. I don't know anything about him, but if you tell me Aaron Rodgers liked working with him, it's over. I don't even care if he's a mean, bad person, because that's his most important job. He's got, to me, okay, you can clear me if I'm wrong on these. To me, he's got one job with Aaron Rodgers: keep him happy. Other than that, and whatever he does, because I think and believe that Aaron Rodgers cared about only one thing. Only one thing. Now, the reason why doesn't matter. He cared only about one thing: winning. And he would do whatever's necessary to win, say whatever he had to do whatever he'd do. And however people feel about that, so what?
Yeah, no, I agree.
Am I right? I don't know that I'm right.
That's all Aaron cared about was winning.
Right.
He wanted to win. He wanted to win, and by any means necessary. And he had the coaches, obviously, Tom, and then Getsy was in there, and then Alex Van Pelt was in there. So, like, we had multiple quarterback coaches. Because obviously, you remember Getsy went to Chicago, and he was a coach in Chicago. I think he took the OC job in Chicago.
He did, and didn't do very well. But I don't know if that means anything, actually.
I don't think that means anything.
Because if Aaron Rodgers liked him, and really, I'm not talking about publicly, I'm saying privately, liked him or admired him, or I don't know what the respected him would probably be the best word to have, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's what you want.
Yes, and they worked well together.
Okay,
so,
there you
everything that I was aware of, they worked well together. So to me, when you have a coach that's able to take a Hall of Fame quarterback like that, obviously interact with him and work with him well, and obviously get great performances out of, Aaron. And Aaron was going to perform great regardless, but coaching has something to do with it, right?
Would you agree with my premise that he can be a pain? That he took over, they said, look, Rodgers is great, smart, everything, but he can be a pain at times.
Well, Aaron can be Aaron. Aaron could be difficult. There's no doubt.
Okay, that's what could be difficult. All right.
Yeah, I mean,
so don't be bothered by it. It's not you.
Yeah. No, I mean, listen, Aaron's Aaron. I mean, he likes things a certain way, and he went about his business a certain way, and he wanted the offense and things to operate a certain way, and you couldn't say no because it worked. So, what are you going to do?
So, when anybody asks me about the quarterback coach, I'm going to say, all you need to know is he worked well with Rodgers. Next. Yes. In fact, I was another team, and I was looking at him. I don't know. He didn't call the plays, so I don't know from your standpoint if that changes everything. Just because somebody is good as a quarterback coach doesn't necessarily mean he's going to be a good play caller. I don't know where that shift is.
I don't know. I don't know how that always
I just assume
out.
If he worked well with Rodgers, he can call the plays. Come on. But
there's a chance. I mean, and obviously people will revert back to what happened in Chicago when he was the OC. But Chicago was a mess at that point. Yeah. Let's just be real. Like let's be honest with ourselves.
Yeah.
But no, I think Matt hiring within or promoting within to promote Getsy to the QB coach. I mean, it just makes sense. I mean, I think he's done a good job in that room, and I think Jordan, that transition will be very smooth for him, and you'll continue to see the same type of performances from Jordan with Getsy leading that room. I mean, that's just my opinion on it.
Yes, it is. And people also want to get on Stenovich, like he's not doing good enough. All right, you know what my answer is there? Shut up. It's LaFleur. It's his system. They do what he wants. He's the head coach, but he's more importantly in this regard the offensive coordinator. So any complaints you have on the offense should be on LaFleur, and because he's going to decide who that guy is based on how much he thinks about that guy. And it's that simple. Again, tell me if my theory has any merit whatsoever.
No, you have merit. I mean, that's 100%. Like, people want to get after Steno. Again, I don't.
You like him. You don't just you.
Yes.
I mean, you really like him. So you saw him from the beginning, right?
Correct. Yeah. Correct. I saw him right when he got into Green Bay. He was my coach. Very smart guy. Very, very, very offensive minded. Very good. Very detailed. So, like,
compare him to the other guy that you talk about. I've forgotten. He's now in
who? Campy?
Campy. Yes, that's what I want to know. Compare Campy and Stenovich.
Oh, that's hard to compare them. They're two different guys, obviously, with
I don't know
their coaching styles and methods.
So how is their styles different? Just talk about their style.
I would say Steno with how he's a lot more. I don't know. Listen, for the first things first, they both allow guys, at least from my experience with Steno. Remember, I only spent a year with Steno. I was
right, but you pick things up quickly. I've checked. I know your bio.
Yeah, so they're both guys that allow guys to be themselves and play within themselves within the scheme, which I think is very important. The way they go about it, the way they teach techniques and fundamentals is different, in my opinion. I think Campy was a little more, I don't know how to put it. Campy really came up with drills that were outside the box and things like that. I mean, when I got into the league and we were doing some of these drills, I was like, what are these? Like, I've never seen some of these things before. And I came from a Kirk Ferentz scheme, which Kirk did everything. I mean, it was, Kirk worked with the tackles. I worked with Kirk every day. So, like, I felt like I was very in tune with every drill that could be thrown at me and everything I do. Then I get to Campy, and it's stuff that I've never even seen before. And I think Steno's a little bit more traditional with the drill work that he does, but it's not like it's boring work.
No, I'm not going to ask you who's better. This is just like, I don't know how much they differ. If I were you, see, I was kind of wondering, I would have called Coach Ferentz back and go, hey, did you know what you're doing? I thought you were the guy, and I come here and I got 18 different things I've never seen before. You didn't do that. You didn't do that, though, did you?
No,
I didn't think you would.
I would never, because then he would say back to me, well, you got picked in the first round, didn't you?
Yes.
You played good enough, didn't you? You were prepared, right?
No, yeah, and I'd say, yeah, I'm just asking you why you didn't do these drills.
Yeah, no,
I may ask him if I ever meet him.
Maybe it has to do with him working with 19 and 18 and 20-year-olds, and then Campy's working with high-end professionals that can catch on to these things quicker and understand the reason behind them.
All right,
right?
back to Campy. I lost track on Ferentz because, I mean, he's been doing it forever. I didn't even know, maybe other people knew that he always worked with the tackles. I don't know, did he play tackle? Did he think tackles were that important? When the head coach is working with a group, that tells me how important that group must be, I guess.
Yeah, that to my knowledge, that's what I don't think he played tackle by any stretch, but he obviously coached O-line in the league, and he understands the importance of who needs, I guess, where his attention should be. Right. And he worked with the tackles every single day.
You owe him big time. If I have to make a judgment on who Bryan Bulaga owes the most, based on that fact alone, I'm thinking you owe him. Am I right or wrong?
Oh, the knowledge I got from him was incredible.
All right.
Absolutely incredible for a 19 or 18-year-old kid when I started playing, and I had never really played offensive line. Yeah, I mean, that was a crash course in development, like immediately. And the demand that he had and how much extra, we're talking about a head coach in college football staying after practice for an extra 30, 40 minutes, doing extra tackle drills and sets and stuff like that. Like, that's just kind of unheard of. Like, I don't think that's happening around college football these days, of coaches staying after practice with one position group to go over fundamentals. Like, I don't think that's something that happens these days.
All right. How many days did he do that often?
At least twice a week.
Now, is this over the whole season, or does it change once the season starts? Or
no, this is all in season.
And all every year it didn't change any of the years.
No. He worked with myself and Kyle Calloway and then Riley Reef, and we would all be out there for an extra 30 minutes after practice, doing sets and working on our footwork and punt. Like, it was constant. And he says, hey, one time, hey, let's get out here and let's do some extra sets. I remember it was early in the season. I'm like, okay, sounds good. And then it just turned into every day. It was just an everyday thing. You just practice got done, go back over to where coach was hanging out, do more drills. And everyone goes in, everyone's done, and you're out there doing more stuff with Coach Ferentz. It was daily. And then he obviously, during practice, when we were doing our fundamental drills with Coach Morgan, he was over there. He was watching the linemen. That's what he did. And then he would pull the tackles for pass blocking drills, and Coach Morgan would take the guards and centers. Coach Ferentz would take the tackles, and he'd do the tackle fundamentals. And that's the way it went every single day.
Do you think he still does that now? He's like an old man.
In the one practice I went to when I was back, it was more of a jog through type practice before a game. So I don't know what he never did it on that day, but like I would imagine he takes the tackle still and does stuff.
Because
like
I want to tell you this, that if I knew a kid who wanted to be a tackle, and people at Wisconsin can get mad at me, I know I'm going to Iowa. You know why? Head coach spends time with you, extra time every day.
Mm-hmm.
And this coach I checked has been pretty good. I mean, I don't know, even if I just can't imagine there's another head coach that does that. And if you want to play that position, because, well, now in the pros you can get paid pretty well at any line, but say you want to be a tackle, how could you not think that that's a plus that you probably wouldn't get at any other school, right?
I agree. I agree. That's why I found it crazy when I was there that he would do that. And then I get out of the league and I'm like, this doesn't happen like anywhere. Like nobody does. Like no one's coach was doing this type of thing after practice and things like that. Like this, it's unheard of. But he did. I mean, he's an offensive line guy. It was just exact. I mean, it was right down his alley. I mean, it was like, this is what we should be doing. We should be doing extra things after practice, and I should be training the tackles after practice and working on their sets and giving them ideas and tips and pointers of what to do and how to set certain guys and things like that. Like, that's just what he did. It wasn't even a question. And that's why I always say, like, there's a reason why when Iowa linemen come out of Iowa and they go into the NFL, they're prepared. They feel really prepared. And you see a lot of those guys play really well early on because of all the work and information that they get from Kirk.
Things I learned from Bryan Bulaga. All right, I apologize. We'll get back to Campy and the other questions that I was going to get to about this year's Green Bay Packers in the second quarter. Milwaukee weight loss. Now, I can tell you all the stuff, and there's a lot of stuff written on it, but any weight loss, and this is why I agreed to do it, and I'm doing it now. I've been doing it for about a month, I think, somewhere in a month. Like, does it work? People I knew told me about it. And then someone else that didn't even work here, someone else said, yeah. And they said, they used the word, it's easy, to which I said, there's no way it's easy. Well, I've been doing it about a month. I'm down 20 pounds. And what are the specifics? Well, they have certain things you do. There's nothing crazy, no crazy workouts. No, Homer, you didn't tell me about this. I don't have to tell you about anything. There's nothing I do that's weird. All you need to know is that it works. And then you go to MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com, MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. They give the phone number. Patients have dropped 20 to 30 pounds in about a month. So I'm down right about 20, and it's been a little more than a month, maybe 5 weeks. But more than that, I can't believe that, like, I like eating raspberries. So you have a certain amount each day. You have protein. You have fruit. You can't eat sweets, and I love sweets. And, like, all of a sudden, raspberries taste good. It's strawberries and raspberries are enough sweet stuff for me. But, again, it might not be the same for you. You just go to MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com, and you tell them, I'm there. I'm calling and looking up stuff because Homer says it works. What else matters with a diet? Now, the key will be over time. And these people that I know have been doing it for a year and a half. They still have the weight loss off. So, and this Valentine's month, Milwaukee Weight Loss is sharing the love. $300 off during the Valentine's Day sale, now through the end of February. So $300 off, but more importantly, it works. MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. Next.
More of the Homer Hour coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
There's a crash on 43 northbound right at the county border. The two right lanes now blocked at Fort Washington Road. Right now it's backed up to Brown Deer, but I'd expect delays to worsen there. Seeing some slight improvements on 43 southbound. Those backups starting around Locust and heading into downtown. 41 southbound backups start at Mill Road, and that is slow until Capitol Drive. 94 eastbound, we have delays starting almost back at the Zoo interchange. That improves once you approach Hawley. And westbound delays are mostly between 27th Street and American Family Field. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, a low of 26. Friday, mostly sunny and mild, a high of 48. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Jessica Gatso on 94.5 ESPN.
On this show, it's always football season.
I would have liked to have seen the process go a little bit longer. I would have loved to have seen them evaluate. And then if it still comes back Gannon, great.
Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
It did feel like there was maybe a little bit of a push. If you don't bring him in and get him done now, he's going somewhere else.
Weekdays from 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN, ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
There's never been a better time to experience Pella in person and get all your questions answered. Join us at the Neary Spring Home Improvement Show, February 13th through the 15th at Wisconsin State Fair Park. Book your in-home consultation at the show and receive a free DesignWorks rendering. Rest easy with Pella's 10-year limited warranty and get 0% interest for up to 48 months. Set your free in-home consultation at PellaWI.com.
This is Coach Greg Gard. I've lived my whole life in Wisconsin, and I know what people here value: hard work, honesty, and looking out for one another. That's exactly how Bank CMG approaches banking. They combine hometown values with modern tools to help people make confident financial decisions. When you want a bank that understands where you're coming from, Bank CMG makes sense. Visit bankcmg.com or stop by your local branch. Let's get to work.
Without an Advent clinic nearby, people suffering needlessly from chronic nasal congestion and sinus infections would be stuck with either Band-Aid or Sledgehammer solutions. Band-Aids are pills or nasal sprays, and they're not true solutions. Surgery is a sledgehammer, and that's what we're trying to avoid. Because most people don't need surgery for nose and sinus issues, nor do they want a 14-day recovery. Our unique Advent approach can, in 20 minutes in our office, open your blocked nose for good, with only 1-day recovery. I'm Advent founder Dr. Kandula. Outside of Advent's four walls, invasive surgery is what they'll recommend. But here you will find effective and convenient in-office solutions to help you stop the need for Band-Aids and avoid the sledgehammer.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Most insurance accepted.
Grab the dial and crank it up, baby, because Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee is spinning its Winning Hits collection. Over the next 3 months, you could win a share of over $1 million in prizes. On top of thousands in cash and reward play, you could win one of 3 new Ford vehicles in the grand finale drawings on March 27th. Just play with your rewards card to earn entries. Press play on the Winning Hits collection, only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
This is the Homer Hour on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
The second quarter of the Bryan Bulaga Homer Hour. Is there anything else about Kirk Ferentz I need to know? Did he spend special time with the place kicker every day, or was it?
You would think that for how good special teams he did, but not that I remember. Just a good football coach. Football coach.
Yeah, he's a good football coach. All that, and he spends extra time with a certain group after practice many days.
Yes.
Yeah, that group is extra lucky. All right, back to Campy. I was asking you to compare Campy and Stenovich. Was there? I lost track a little bit on Ferentz. Wow, that just
Again, when you're trying to compare two line coaches, I think obviously the system comes into play too, right? The scheme and what they're trying to teach.
All right, here's the question: do they control that scheme, or does that come from the offensive coordinator, in this case, the head coach? That's an important question to me. People talk about the scheme. You do. Who decides the scheme?
Yeah, it's the head coach.
All
so
right.
like when Campy was there, it was McCarthy, and obviously Steno's there, and it's LaFleur. So you have to coach fundamentals based on what the scheme is
So
requiring.
if a fan doesn't like the scheme, don't blame the offensive coach or the line coach or the offensive coordinator. Well, I mean, it depends. If the head coach is LaFleur. In the case of the Packers, that scheme is LaFleur's scheme, not the OC's. Correct?
Yes.
Right.
Yes. It's Matt's offense. 100%.
Right, but I didn't know if it's his offense, but he can say, all right, this is what we want to do, but which scheme do you like? Can you run the same offense with different schemes? You talk about the zone, right? What are the two schemes of the zone and?
Yeah, there's obviously, I mean, we ran zone with McCarthy, although we were a zone team, but there's different iterations of the zone. You look at what's happening in like the way San Francisco runs it and the way LA runs it, and obviously when I was first with LaFleur, the way we ran it, that's different than the way we were taught with Campy and the way McCarthy wanted it. Like it's different.
So Campy would have to change.
He would have,
if a new coach comes in.
If Campy was on staff with LaFleur, yes, he would have to change up certain things about how he needed guys to do things, for sure, 100%. And he would have to make that change and adjust how he coaches the fundamentals on that based on aiming points and how you're attacking guys and how much stretch you want on certain plays and things like that. So yeah, it seems minute, but it is big changes. It is. I mean, it took us a little bit when LaFleur came in to adjust to that because we were used to doing things a certain way. Steno comes in and he's telling us like this is the way it needs to be done now, and it did change quite a bit of how we looked at the run game and obviously different concepts and plays and things like that. So, there's certainly a difference.
So people can notice the difference, discuss the difference as you have, but understand that's decided by, I guess, in essence, the offensive coordinator, or in this case, the head coach, because he has that role as well.
Yes.
Like, if you were playing for, I don't know, another coach and he just kind of runs everything but doesn't run the offense, those decisions would be made by the offensive coordinator.
Yeah, so let's look at it. For a perfect example would be like McDermott in Buffalo.
Yes.
Right, when he was in Buffalo. Who's now the head coach there, Joe Brady. That's that offense, right? Like that's like McDermott may tell Joe Brady, like, hey, I want a little bit more run or I want a little more outside zone. That's great. But it'll be the way Joe Brady wants it. Right? Like it'll be his view of the way this offense needs to look. I mean, and McDermott's going to say, like, yeah, I want more of that, but like McDermott's not going to go, well, this is the way I want it done.
I got
this
it.
Is like it's the offensive coordinator and his scheme and the way he's putting it in. And in this case, in Green Bay, and the way it was when I was there in Green Bay with Mike as well, it's McCarthy's offense and it's LaFleur's offense.
Right.
And
I'm obsessing on this because when someone a fan or anybody has an argument with that and they mention Stenovich, it shouldn't be allowed. You know, he doesn't decide that. So
no, and that's the thing. Like he obviously in their offensive meetings, they're going over as an offense, right, from all the coaches, what they want, what the run game should be, what it should look like. But at the end of the day, Matt has that final say. I mean, it's what Matt is wanting. Obviously, Steno will give his ideas. He'll give his opinion and things like that, and how it should be blocked or things like that, or what in the pass game as well. Like those are all things he'll give his view on it. But at the end of the day, Matt's going to have the final call.
Right. On the other end, the defense. I mean, this may be the obvious one, but on the defense, you're the guy. LaFleur could say this or that. I don't know how detailed he would get. I mean, he knows defenses because he goes against them, but he's picking the guy to run the defense based on what he expects and how he expects that guy to do it, right? And then he just wants, we got to stop the run better, or I mean, I guess the head would make comments like that, but then it's up to the defensive coordinator to pick how he chooses to do that. So you can blame him about stuff.
100%. Like that's the way that works. Like Matt's not up. Like Matt is not most like. I mean, if I was a betting man, Matt's not on the headset telling Halfley what coverages to run. That's not taking place. Or what pressures to bring.
See, and I don't entirely understand that because I think he just doesn't study it. Dave Robinson told me about Vince Lombardi, offensive guy. He said he didn't even know what we were doing on defense. He'd want to get mad at somebody. He had to ask Phil Bankston who screwed up. And I'm thinking, wait a minute. If he studied his offense, he had to know what defenses did, but clearly not, right? You're running your offense to beat that defense. That doesn't mean you're watching your defense. And then saying they should do it differently. It doesn't transfer, right?
Yeah, I mean, obviously they're watching what's taking place, but it's not like Matt's getting on the headset as obviously Vince Lombardi.
He's focusing on all. He's focusing on his offense, not the defense. Yeah, all right. But I mean, you would think. Again, it tells me I don't know how much work it is to just do the offense. That Floyd would say, "Yeah, I face that all the time. This is what you do." Well, he can't because the offense that they're facing isn't his offense, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. 100%.
It's just
and he's most likely, and again, this is what I think. He's not studying that offense throughout the week like the defensive staff. Like he doesn't have the time to do that. Yeah, he's the head coach and he has to make sure everyone's getting their things done, but like at the same time, he's calling the plays. So he needs to study the defense and make sure, like the opposing defense, and make sure that the game plan is dialed in for what needs to be done that week offensively. The defensive coach, in this standpoint, the D coordinator, which is going to be Gannon, is responsible for making sure that everything is done and it's his way. He's going to make the calls. It's everything that he wants done. Just like Matt on offense. Yeah. And at the end, like, that's what it is.
And it has to be just more complicated than I'm giving it credit to because it requires that much time and energy that you can't be focused on other stuff. I mean, maybe that's the difficulty of being the head coach when you're offensive the coordinator, but so many people have done it so that it's not like it's impossible, but that has to be the reality of it. Homer, you don't understand how much time is necessary to try to figure out what the deal, and you can't be thinking about the other side of the ball.
That's how I think about it. Yeah, that's how I feel about it, and that's, I think, the truth of the whole thing is they're so engulfed in what they're going to be trying to do offensively, and that's what Matt is every week, and he's trying to make sure that the plan is clean and that they have adjustments to anything that's thrown at them. That how are you then going to go over to the other side of the ball and tell now Gannon, this is what you need to do. This is how it needs to be done. Or he was telling Halfley that. Like it just that wasn't taking place. It just that's not how things get done.
I accept it. All right, we're going to get to the third quarter, and maybe eventually we'll get to what I said I was going to get to. Running a business means taking care of your team and your bottom line. For over 50 years, Saganiac Planning has helped small businesses build smarter, more affordable medical and employee benefit plans. From health insurance to customized coverage options, Saganiac Planning's experts make it simple to protect your people and your future. And whatever the size, not just small business, small, medium, large, they've covered it all. That's the benefit you have of others, too, with Saganiac. They've seen it all sizes, all kinds. Saganiac Planning, your partner in planning confidence. Visit SaganiacPlanning.com. Call John Saganiac to get started. Number you can remember, only 3 to remember. You just got to remember 783-262-783. Roger Maris, 6161. Next.
The Homer Hour is back after this on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Still watching that crash on 43 northbound right at the county border. The 2 right lanes are blocked about 3/4 of a mile beyond the ramp from Brown Deer Road. You'll hit the brakes between Good Hope and Brown Deer. 43 southbound is still pretty congested downtown. Backups starting around North Avenue. 41 southbound slowdowns, mostly between Silver Spring and Capitol. And, of course, looking at the construction zones on 94, eastbound delays start around 92nd Street. Those improve once you approach Holly Road. And westbound delays mostly between 27th and American Family Field. Traffic is brought to you by the Neal Group. John Neal and his team know how to minimize your taxes to keep more money in your pocket. Visit nealgroup.net to learn more. That's nealgroup.net. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, a low of 26. Friday, mostly sunny skies and mild, a high of 48. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Jessica Gatso on 94.5 ESPN.
If you're into muskie fishing, the Muskie Expo is the place to be this coming weekend, the 13th through the 15th, where you'll find an excellent assortment of everything muskies, held at the Washington County Fair Park. Find out more at muskieexpo.com.
Big news from Carbless. A fan favorite, and one of my favorites, Blood Orange flavor is now its own dedicated 4-pack. Crafted with real spirits for a true cocktail taste. Blood Orange brings bold, citrus-forward flavor with a smooth, premium finish. 0 sugar, 0 carbs, only 100 calories, and gluten-free. Now it's even easier to stock up on the flavor everyone keeps asking for. Look for Carbless Blood Orange 4-pack at your local retailer now. Once you try it, you'll understand why Blood Orange has earned its own pack. Carbless, bold flavor in every sip. Find it near you at drinkcarbless.com.
If you're thinking about an infrared sauna, don't miss Good Health Saunas at the Nari Spring Home Improvement Show this weekend. This is Jen Latta with ESPN Milwaukee. See their in-home infrared saunas in person, talk with the experts, and take advantage of special show savings. With over 20 years of experience, Good Health Saunas are easy to install, cost as little as 25 cents a day, and include a true lifetime warranty. Find Good Health Saunas at the Nari Spring Home Improvement Show, February 12th through the 14th.
Come grow with us at Glenroy. For more than 6 decades, our family-owned company has built its reputation on quality, reliability, and providing strong career opportunities in our community. As the packaging industry rapidly grows, so does Glenroy. Here, you'll find competitive wages, a clean, modern workspace, fully vested 401k, yearly bonus award, and the chance to build a manufacturing career with purpose. Apply today at glenroy.com/careers. That's GLENROY.com/careers.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 10 and 35%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products pricing and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Start your Milwaukee weight loss program now to lose weight fast. Many lose 20 to 30 pounds in a month or two. Call for your free consultation. 262-235-3980. 262-235-3980 or online at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
Results may vary.
The UW Credit Union member Mark Tauscher here. People ask me, old T, why did you join UW Credit Union? Well, is it to keep your banking local? Is it the member first service? Great perks like early payday? Absolutely. But honestly, between us, I mean, it's Bucky. I can't say no to that face. If you love Wisconsin like I do, you just can't pay with anything else. Fandom makes us do crazy things, but this just makes sense. Become a UW Credit Union member and get your Bucky card like me. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
You're listening to the Homer Hour on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
The third quarter, the Bryan Bulaga Homer Hour. And we haven't done anything I said we would do because we haven't yet talked about this team, but it's still important information. All right, we talk about the new quarterbacks coach, who isn't really that new because everybody knows him, and all you need to know is that Aaron Rodgers respected him. I don't know if you're aware of this. Jason usually likes to bring it up that I did state that I could be the quarterback coach for Aaron Rodgers. And then I say, well, not just me. I think you could. I think Bryan Bulaga could. Because I walk in and say, okay, Aaron, what do you want? What do you mean? You're running the show. What do you want me to do? And whatever he wanted me to do, that's what I would do. How hard is that?
I mean, you do have to present the game plan to him and things like that. And do things like that. Yes. You do have to present that to him and I think
Can't I just give him the piece of papers or something that it's all written down?
You could, but I mean, at the same time, it's also as the QB coach, you're you're going over and making sure he's understanding all the coverages, the pressures, the disguises. I mean, they're going over all of that.
He already knows that, doesn't he?
Well, Aaron, I mean, again, Aaron studies.
Yeah,
the tape
that's what I'm
just as
counting
much
on.
as-
I didn't say I could be the quarterback coach for anybody else. Just him.
I mean, yes. I mean, Aaron does do all that, but at the same time, you want to make sure that you're presenting him with options as well.
So
and
I
adjustments
do provide some information that's helpful. All right. See, I probably should have asked you this long ago. I no longer believe that I could be the quarterback coach for Aaron Rodgers. But I think if we had a discussion, he might be okay with me being the quarterback coach. But I can't confirm it until I talk to Aaron, and that might take a long time. All right, let's get to the Green Bay Packers this season. It is February the 12th. We have no idea of knowing for sure. All right, you ready?
Yep.
Are the Green Bay Packers going to win the division?
The early predictions, right?
Okay, please understand. You are not held responsible for anything you say in terms of, I mean, there'll be some fans that will just say, I can't believe you said this. No, this is February the 12th. Part of it is also to discover if, in fact, we could be accurate on some things that early on February the 12th, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So I think that this roster, I mean, and this, we're talking February the 12th, so there's been no adjustments.
Yeah, you got to make all those adjustments. Yep. Good luck.
Yeah. I'm thinking this roster right now, knowing who's outgoing, right? Like who's leaving, and or having an idea, or we're saying we're just running it back with this
all right,
roster.
hold on. Before we do this, we'll save that because it probably should go through this process. For example, like the kicker, all right?
Yep.
I think he's coming back.
Yes.
And I still think he's pretty good.
I agree.
Wow.
I agree with that. So we'll do it based on that this roster's coming back.
Well, or then we'll ask you on other things. For example, who's going to be at left tackle? I think
Jordan Morgan.
He's going to be the guy. Right?
Yes.
And again, you're not held responsible for anything. Please don't forget that.
But I'll answer the question because I think that this team can win the division.
Yes.
I think they can win the division.
Not really the question, but that's okay.
I know. I'm getting there.
All right. I know you are.
I'm getting there. I think they can win the division. I'm more concerned about a reload from Detroit than I am, say, Chicago at this point. I think they're going to add pieces and things like that, but we're talking about right now. Detroit's going to get healthier. I mean, they were beat up down the stretch. So, like, I'm more concerned about Detroit than I am Chicago. But at the same time, Green Bay played Detroit really well in week one, and that was with a full roster. So I'm gonna say now on February the 12th that I think Green Bay will win the division. I think they will win the division this upcoming year. So right now in February, before anything has been done, I think with this roster, Green Bay can win the division.
Wow, you had to think about it a little bit.
Yeah, I had to go through. I mean, I'm thinking about all the earlier games that when Detroit was completely healthy, how they played. When Chicago was completely, when everyone was healthy, how was everyone playing? Because that's the only thing I have to go on. I don't know who's going to be available, not available, on the team, not on the team when it comes to September. But I'm just thinking right now, I think they can win the division for sure.
All right, now here's the way we determine on this show as to how much you believe that, and that is, how much would you bet? So you have $100 to bet. That's the maximum you could bet, and this is not based on your particular amount of money because I think you could handle a loss of $100 better than I could. But so you can go 100 would mean that's how confident you are because I'm also picking the Packers to win the division because I want them to win the division.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and that's based on just what you said. You have to have enough belief in the people and the players and my concern about everything is that they're good, but is it good enough? Who's great? As I think I don't know if I stole this from you or Jason, when we asked about something and they said, yeah, it's better. And someone said, that's not the question if it's better. Oh, it's special teams.
Yeah.
The question is never if it's better. The question is it good enough? I don't care how much better it is. You got to tell me it's good enough. So that's my issue on everything in terms of what I've seen and the greatness that's necessary to have a great season. So I think they're going to win the division, but I would only bet $35.
Okay.
So it's kind of that's. I don't want to say that's a weak opinion. The question now for you is, what would you bet if 100's the max on the Packers to win the division?
I'd bet $50.
All right. There you go.
I'd bet 50. I'd bet $50.
All right, good.
That they'd win the division.
Now, Jordan Morgan, you'd bet 100 or 95. He's going to be the left tackle. They want him to be the left tackle. He's good enough to get the chance to be the left tackle, and then we'll see how he does. How about that theory?
Yes, that's accurate. I mean, at this point in time, and again, we're talking February 12th.
Yeah,
I'd bet all $100 that he's going to be the left tackle.
Now, this one, I'd also bet $100 that the backup quarterback for the Packers next year won't be as good as Malik Willis, and I'm very concerned about that because I expect Jordan Love to maybe miss a game or two, and they got to have somebody who's ready immediately. This is no kid learning process because you want to win the division, and I want to win my $35. I can't afford to have the team lose a game or two because of the backup quarterback.
That is a concern. That definitely is a concern because the chance of you getting someone in there as good as Willis is very slim. It's very slim. So that is a big concern right now. And I get I forgot who they signed at the end of the season there from Arizona or whoever it was.
That's not it, don't you think? I mean, that's.
But it's not going to be as good as Willis. I just know that right now.
Right. Yeah, guaranteed.
Yeah, I just know that. I mean, every time Willis came in the game, they either won or had a great chance to win the game, and he played well. There's no mistake about that. I mean, that's what we all watch. So the chance of that happening again is very slim.
And being that good right away, the best is, hey, they pulled it out with Willis, so maybe they can do it again.
Yeah, I mean, you could think that, but it's not as
right. It's hard.
It's not as cut and dry as that. I mean, Willis showed potential in Tennessee. It just didn't work out, right? And then he gets to the system with Matt and how Matt runs things and kind of that structure. And every time he went in, he excelled and played really good. And Matt was able to tailor really good game plans for him, and he performed at a high level. So. Yeah, I just
start looking. I'm putting you on. You need this is because you don't have as much to do. Actually, I don't know how much you have to do. You probably have a lot to do knowing you. But yeah, because I think it's got to be someone who has some experience, preferably in the LaFleur system or a system similar to that. And then we have our Discount Liquor Twitter poll question coming up in the fourth quarter. Homer with thoughts about 3-pillar senior living communities, 300 acres. 300 acres, 300 acres. That's what you need to know. It's a beautiful setting on the Bark River in Dousman, but you can be a top-ranked full continuum community when you have that much area. Active, adult, and independent living, and or assisted living and memory care, and or skilled nursing and rehab, and or incredible wellness programs, long list of activities, 10 miles of walking. Yeah, you got 300 acres. And so that the amazing staff, it makes it even easier for them to be even more amazing. And that's the most important thing in places, senior living communities. 3pillars.org, 3pillars.org. Fisco Auto Body, it's a family business. Don't tell you about them often enough. On Forest Home in Franklin, Fisco Auto Body, owned since 1931. It's not what they do, it's who they are. That's why they're so good. And they still own the business. The Fiscos are still working on your cars. That's huge to know. Sometimes you pass it along. Nope, not the Fiscos. Expert workmanship guaranteed for the life of your vehicle. Any damage, Fisco has you covered. Fisco Auto Body on Forest Home in Franklin. You'll thank them, and then you'll thank me, and I like that. Fisco. to remember the name. Fourth quarter, next.
More of the Homer Hour coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Tune in to KBN these next 2 weeks for your updates on the International Hockey Tournament. Whether your team is winning or losing, get ready because Screamin' Sicilian Tavern-style pizzas are now just $5.99 at Metcalf's, February 12th through the 18th. We're talking thin, crispy crust, bold, piled high toppings, and unbeatable flavor in every bite. Win the gold with Screamin' Sicilian. More toppings, more flavor, more amore.
ESPN Radio Sports Beat with Freddie Coleman.
Certain games you lose, it can take a while to recover. Ask the Atlanta Falcons. That organization has now recovered after losing a 28-3 lead and losing that Super Bowl to the New England Patriots. Not saying the Patriots are in the same situation after what happened on Sunday night in Super Bowl 60 at the hands of the Seattle Seahawks. But man, oh man, mentally and physically, they look beat up from the feet up after what happened by that Seahawks defense and that Seahawks football team. Now, they got the right mix of veterans and also youth. They have a terrific coaching staff led by Mike Vrabel. Elliot Wolf has done a fantastic job as a player personnel director, hitting on those draft picks and hitting on free agents. But certain games you wonder if that opportunity comes around, and will it come around? The Patriots are banking on with their future intact, especially the quarterback position and coach, they're going to be fine. But certain games you can't recover from. It'll be interesting to see how the Patriots recover from what happened on Sunday night and not affect them going forward to try to win another championship. In 60 seconds, the irony of Patriots' Tom Brady in charge of the Raiders.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Can I take your coat?
Oh, you noticed. Yeah, I found it on eBay from a seller in Vegas. Pre-loved and perfect. She listed it and jackpot. Italian leather, classic trench silhouette. And did you see the braided buckle?
Hang on to your claim ticket.
Oh, I'll hang on to this forever. Have you been on eBay? There's so many finds. And I bet that diving watch would sell fast. Just saying.
Find what you love, sell what you don't. eBay. Things people love.
There's a new sheriff in Las Vegas, and his name is Clint Kubiak. But the guy that's running things at Las Vegas Raiders is that guy named Tom Brady. How ironic that Mark Davis, the owner of the Las Vegas Raiders, said that Clint Kubiak is going to report to the general manager and Tom Brady. He made a point to say that Tom Brady and the general manager are running things from the football side. If you're a Las Vegas Raiders fan, how do you feel about a guy that essentially, because of a bad rule called the Tuck rule, enabled your team to be beaten by the New England Patriots and started that dynasty with Tom Brady, Bill Belichick, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera? It is ironic that Tom Brady, with his football acumen, is going to help the Raiders defeat the New England Patriots, who could be in their way to being relevant once again. But it's Tom Brady's world, and even the NFL knows we're all just living in it when it's all said and done. For the ESPN Radio Sports Beat, I'm Freddie Coleman of ESPN Radio's Freddie and Harry.
Homer here with a message about Three Pillars Senior Living Communities, located on a serene setting along the Bark River on 300 gorgeous acres. Three Pillars Senior Living Communities is a top-ranked full continuum community: active adult, independent living, assisted living, memory care, skilled nursing, and rehab. Three Pillars, the hands-down choice for you or your loved one. Been there. Know people who live there. They love it. You got to go to Dousman and see it in person. Get all the info on Three Pillars at threepillars.org.
Welcome back to the Homer Hour on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
It is the Bryan Bulaga Homer Hour, and I should always leave an opening at the end where, if there's something you wanted to mention, and I interrupted so much you didn't get a chance to say it, but I don't know. I haven't decided yet if that is a segment, but if you want it to be, fine. All right, the Discount Liquor Twitter poll question. You ready, Brian?
Yep.
When will the Packers win their next Super Bowl? Next 5 years, next 10 years, next 20 years, or never? Now, the never is don't get upset. It's not. You can say you want nothing to do with that, but I just want to see how many people are that way. So next 5, next 10, next 20, never.
I'm going to go. I'm going to be in the range of the next 5 years.
All right.
I think the next 5 years, that's their window, in my opinion.
I say the next 10. We'll talk again next week. Thanks. The Bryan Bulaga Homer Hour. I love to say this. I don't know what's next, but it's not as good. Next.
There's still a crash to watch out for on 43 northbound. The right lane is closed about 3/4 of a mile beyond the ramp from Brown Deer Road. You'll hit the brakes not long after Good Hope. 43 southbound is still congested downtown. Backups start around North Avenue. Slowdowns on 94 are not too bad, but still going to hit the brakes briefly in those construction zones. Eastbound delays between 84th and 70th. Westbound delays mostly between just past 27th Street and the Stadium Interchange. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, a low of 26. Friday, mostly sunny and mild, a high of 48. Weather is brought to you by Welke's Milwaukee Florist. Make this Valentine's Day special. Shop local and trust Welke's. Go to Welke's.com. That's WELKES.com. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Jessica Gatso on 94.5 ESPN.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
According to American writer H.L. Mencken, a well-stocked